Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Verdier here. Going off to work. Take a guess where I work at. Yeah, well, never really advertised it much, only because I wanted to make sure nobody stalked me. But if you're over the age of 18, you're attractive, nice breasts, please come and stalk me. All right. I did have a few things to discuss. I wanted to talk about real quick. It's kind of like a video log. I do apologize. I know these things can be kind of boring. A lot of shit I put out is boring. I don't have a lot of time really to do stuff. Been trying to, but you know, such as it is. First thing I wanted to discuss real quick, and it also comes down to having an ethical dilemma that I've run into now because of it. My last video, or at least one of my videos, recently had to replace my center speaker because I blew it. That was my fault and so forth. And I was going to pretty soon have my entire system retuned. And I went to Adam, and it was not a good day, apparently, with him. But he went and he retuned the system a little differently. I expected I just wanted to get the bass back under proper control and so forth. And he pretty much did a completely different tune, which actually was very interesting. Although I want most of the priorities right here where I'm sitting, he actually tuned it more towards the rear. He wanted to give more of the bass towards the rear and use more treble here with a little bit on the regular drivers. It's taking me a while to get used to it, and it's not a bad tune. I actually like it. He said he wanted to give me a different kind of tune, which I thought was pretty cool, and I did appreciate it. And it's very interesting because before that had happened, before we did that tune, I had stuck my ears up to these tweeters up at the front of the car while playing my music, and I could barely hear any sound coming out of them. They were very low. But still, the system sounded incredible because these Hertz, these Legends are incredible. Their sound quality is absolutely beyond belief. But, you know, I was wondering what was going on with the tweeters, and he went and he did this tune. And I was getting some crackling and popping from the tweeters on certain notes at very high frequencies. Loud volumes. I mean, most of the time they sounded fine. In fact, the system sounded a little bit better because it was a little more detailed because the tweeters were turned up. And I sent him a text telling him what I thought he had done originally. Because he sees a lot of people. I mean, he knows me, but he sees a lot of people. He does a lot of tunes. And I thought maybe he had forgotten what he had done, and I said, you know, I have an idea of what you did last time, why you lowered my tweeters. And I think you lowered my tweeters because you were concerned about some of my sources having too much distortion, and I might blow the tweeters. And so you did that, you know, just try to save me, you know, any trouble and so forth. And, you know, there was no real big back and forth, but I said that as a text. And this is where something that really bothers me comes in. That happened a long time ago. For a while there, I went there like 4 or 5 times while we tried to figure out the tune to make sure everything was good. You know, it takes a little while to get a tune set and so forth, so everyone's happy. Here's what's bothering me. I'm getting ready to go back, and I recently found out after talking to him that the tweeters were blown. They still work pretty damn well for blown tweeters, but they are blown. They have certain frequencies where they will rattle and pop. I don't know how the hell I managed to... Well, I know how they blew, but I never broke any of the rules he told me. I never overclipped the system beyond 32. I was always very careful, but, you know, when you're dealing with so many sources, some of them have a distortion. You hit a certain note, and no matter how much power... I mean, there are 85 watts are being pumped into them. God knows what the tweaks are. What the peak... wattages. My guess is that with 85 watts per channel and 85 watts going into these, they're maybe peaking at 200, 210 watts. They're rated at over 300, at 300 watts. But their continuous RMS is like 150. I know I keep beating around the bush to get to the ethical dilemma. I recently saw him. I was looking into getting maybe a switcher down here so I could switch between different tunes. I may end up doing that eventually anyway. It's pretty cool. It's like a bass knob button, except it's got a bunch of things where you can choose your different tunes that are put into the system and so forth. I found out then that the tweeters were blown. And he told me they were blown. What bothers me so much is that they were blown a long time ago. They were blown a long time ago. Way long time ago, and he had lowered the volume of them and put my other speakers at regular. And And what bothers me is he didn't bother telling me this. He just went and set the system and set me on my way. Now, those who deal with me know that I'm not I'm a very good person. I really am, and a nice person, but I can be trying. I tend to speak my mind a little, and I tend to talk a lot. And a lot of it's sometimes not so nice. I mean, not mean at other people and all that. Just sad about me at times because I'm not in a great state of mind right now in my life. But he literally sent me out with blown tweeters and lowered them and didn't tell me. And I don't know the reason why. I mean, right now he's going to cover them under warranty. He said, well, we're going to change them out under warranty. Well, thank you very much. But I would never do that to anybody. That's the kind of person I am. Now, if I found out that the customer would have to pay for them because maybe they literally abused the system, that's one thing. But he never told me. And this shows a little aspect of him that really concerns me. How can I trust him anymore now? He's a nice guy. I mean, he's actually a very nice guy, and I think he's very good at what he does. I think I don't know why. I think he just didn't want to deal with me anymore. And that really bothers me tremendously because I would never do that to anybody. I would tell them that if a component of theirs or something I sold them had failed, I wouldn't try to tune it in such a way. And because I'm stupid, I can't notice the difference. I only noticed it once when I was showing the system off to somebody and playing them a nice piece. And I was shocked at how little was coming out of tweeters when I really put my ears up to it. I was curious how they sounded. And I thought, aha, Adam lowered the tweeters to keep me from blowing them easily, just in case. No, they were already blown and he didn't tell me. So I'm stuck in a very ethical dilemma on this. I like working with him. I think he does a pretty good job. But I can't trust him anymore. And I just wanted to pass that on to you guys and get your opinions. I mean, he's the only one that deals with this equipment. I really don't have the money to go switch over to something else. It sounds great. And so I'll still deal with him to a certain extent. But I really don't know. This really bothers me, guys. It really bothers me. And I'm sorry to throw this shit on you. Like, come on, who gives a shit? But I wanted to pass that on. So that's how the tune is going. I'm going to be seeing him again on the 23rd. He's very, very busy. He's massively busy now. And we're going to get a final tune and change out the tweeters and try to get things back in order. And we'll go from there. But I want to pass that on. Another thing is, this week I'm going to get another oil change. I'm a little over. I'm at 25,701. Normally I would get it every 5. I'm a little past it because I've been driving Ruby a little bit more lately. And I'm going to have the sit down at Charlie's Honda. I'm going to try to at least with the head of their repair facilities. I can't even get the right words out. I'm going to sit down with him and I want to discuss this vent, this rattling vent. For all those, we'll try to figure out what we're going to do with it. I mean, I've told everyone go under their warranties. We already know what the issues are with the rattling vents. I've talked about it multiple times. The center vent rattles. It's fucked up. And it's not consistent among all cars, all of them, or all the insides. So I think there's just a batch of parts that aren't meeting full tolerances. So I want to go and sit and have a nice talk with him or her. I don't know. Actually, it's a him, but don't want to be sexist. But so, oh my God, wow. Sorry, Vertier's penis caught engaged. He saw someone very pretty. Sorry, I'm a pig. That's funny. So I'm going to have that discussion. I'm going to let you guys know exactly what's going on so we can try to figure out exactly how many parts are broken in this tolerance. Another thing I want to discuss is the whole situation with Bluetooth and Android Auto on this head unit, which is a freaking pain in the butt. Now, a lot of you said they haven't had any problems or they very rarely have problems. One person on the forums... Wi-Fi disabled. Oh my God, she can't shut up, can she? Someone on the forums had passed on, a way to make sure, to have less problems, is to make sure you start the car, let the head unit boot up, then plug your phone into the car. I don't know if I think I may have, I don't remember if I responded, I need to double check. I may have responded slightly negatively to this, but I mean, they're right. I knew this already. If you wait for the whole thing to turn on and settle in, and then you plug your phone in, your failures with Android Auto, problem with Apple iOS, because this has nothing to do with Android or or the Apple, it has to do with Honda's software, you'll have less errors. They'll still happen sometimes. Just in mid-drive, they'll just suddenly happen. But the fact of the matter is, they happen a lot less if you hook it up later. So I do recommend you do that. It's annoying that you have to do that. It should be like that. On the Ford, I plug it in and I turn on the car. It's just easier to plug the phone in beforehand before you start up the car. Most people, you start up the car, you like to go in reverse and leave. But just do it that way. It will work. I'm going to have a discussion with him about that too and see if I can talk them into changing out the head unit with a newer revision of it. I don't know if this is going to fix the problem at all. A lot of people are reporting a lot less problems with some of these newer versions of the car, and it might be actually a hardware issue of some kind. I really don't know. I doubt I'll be able to talk them into that. I mean, I can show them all the crashes, but they got to see it happen. Well, it's easy to do it if you plug it in ahead of time. But I wanted to discuss that because I thought it was very interesting to know that you need to plug after the car starts than before. And thank you to that individual who mentioned it in the forums. It's an aspect of stubbornness with me. I shouldn't have to do that. That's stupid. You should be able to plug in your phone, turn on your car's head unit boots up, then it hooks to the phone. But apparently it's too stupid to do that. It's kind of like how I was with the subwoofer. I tried to keep the 8-inch subwoofer in the deck. It was not loud enough. It rattled like a bitch, and I just said, fine, I'll have something in the trunk instead. And lo and behold, it was better to have something in the trunk in the end. So that's something else I wanted to just do a quick discuss. Something else I wanted to mention that I found very interesting about the car. I have all of you have heard me beat this dead horse about the car's radar working like shit when it comes to stopped cars. It's always been so much better in the Ford, meaning that it could be better, period. It's just the system on this car wasn't working as well, and I don't know why. I have noticed in the last month or so that I've started driving this car a lot more, even more. It's gotten better. All of a sudden, she's recognizing stopped cars a lot more often now. And I can't see what the difference is. Unless through the Honda Link, there are minor updates or something sent into the system that might change certain parameters that I don't know about. Things, this car is hooked up through Honda Link all the time. So basically, it has, I'm sure it has some quiet updates that happen that you may not even know about. Or I could be wrong. But somehow, the car is doing better. And I don't understand how that is. So if any of you have seen, who drive a lot on your cruise control, who have noticed this problem a lot, have seen better response from their cars, as opposed to how it used to be, email me or put it in the messages on this video. Who the hell knows? I mean, I don't think I'll get a response at all, except that's interesting. I don't think anyone's going to notice it. But I drive all the time on cruise control, even in the city. I like having full speed control. I like the radar controlling things. It takes my mind off of things, and it makes it easier for me to drive. And actually, I find it, in some aspects, it could be a little less safe because I usually have my foot ready for braking, but it's not as ready as it would be if I were driving, more than likely. By with my foot on the gas or whatever, obviously. But it also gives me more time to pay attention to the road, which I do more when I'm not worried about my speed and I'm not worried about many other things. Something else I wanted to mention that I find very interesting, and this could have more to do with my diabetes and the fact that I'm getting older, and this is just old man driving shit. People get older, they I'm not as good as I used to be. All the shit all you young people are laughing at me, talking about or saying that happens to me. I used to do the same shit to other people. How could he not know how to use that computer? Duh. It's okay. I found that the lane keep assist is invaluable to me. Many of you might call it lane centering, when it keeps you in the center of your lane. I find that when I drive the Ford Fusion Energy, I tend to touch the lines a lot more. I'm paying attention to my driving, all that, but I still tend to wander a little mostly towards the center line. More probably because I'm scared of flying off the road. But I tend to do that, and I tend to hit the lines more. I don't know if it's inattention. Probably somewhat because I like listening to my music, and I really get into my music, and but this car, it doesn't happen. And it doesn't happen for a very simple reason, and this is why lane keep assist is good. It's constantly inching me in the center of the lane. So if I'm not doing a hands-free, which I don't do a lot, I do it sometimes for fun. Every night, if I went on a long trip, I might do it more. But I'm not looking to get into a possible accident just to show off that you can stick a bottle in your steering wheel and it can steer for you. I prefer to drive safely because that's generally not completely all that safe. But I find it fascinating in my older age, and probably from the diabetes because I probably just don't have as good sensory response, how important lane keep assist can actually be and how safe it really is. And this is the proof. It keeps me centered in my lane, and it keeps me from wandering when either A, I'm not paying much attention, or maybe I'm just not steering well. Maybe I'm just getting old. I am getting old. I'm getting sick. So I'm really sick, actually. The diabetes is getting me really bad right now. So it is what it is. But I wanted to pass that on to any of you wondering, what's the whole shtick about lane keep assist? It's good for old, stupid people like me who can't drive. Keeps you in the center of the lane, and I think it keeps the rest of you guys safe. So I know that was generally a pretty silly discussion. I'm sorry if it kind of bored you guys. I do try to cut them down in sections. I might do it this time too, so you guys can jump to areas that you might have more interest in. But that's really all I had to say right now. This is it's always, as I said, off the cuff. And I hope, some of you guys found this helpful and informative. So I'm going to call peace out from Verdier. And you guys take care of yourself. I'm going to try to get more videos up. I'm working very late. I'm not getting much sleep, so it's been harder to do the videos, and it's hard to get myself to do them because, well, I'm old, and I'm not that good at making the videos. So it's a lot harder for me. Somebody who could put this kind of video together in 15 minutes takes me 2-3 hours to get it together because, well, I'm old. I'm a doofus. All right, guys. I've spoken enough. Verdier out.